Hello, we are headed out on our journey today. Where are we going today, Jarrod?
Actually, welcome all. We're headed to Bull Creek. For those who are not familiar with it, it's just north of Branson, Missouri, right off of Highway 65. But why are we going to Bull Creek, Jennifer?
So we are going to Bull Creek to stay in an RV. So if you've been watching our channel, then you know that this is kind of the next step for us. So we haven't really stayed in an RV. Well, we have very limited experience. So when was the last time we did that?
So a couple of years back, we stayed with some friends in a Class A motorhome up near Lake of the Ozarks in central Missouri at a winery. What was the name of that? It's called Harvest Host, is that right?
Yeah, it was through a Harvest Host site. I can't remember the name of the winery. My experience at the winery was amazing. We pretty much had it all to ourselves when we stayed overnight and really enjoyed hanging out there. The next day, we went on a hike, but it was cold, and we didn't have any hookups. We were basically boondocking, and I was so cold and did not sleep very well at all. Of course, I could hear everything. So it wasn't, an ideal experience, I guess we'll say. But we haven't given up. So my other experiences of camping going back would be from staying in a pop-up camper when I was much younger, in my 20s. And that was definitely a step up, I thought, from tent camping. Other than that, that's about it. I did not grow up camping at all. So what about you, Jarrod?
Well, I had some opportunities when I was younger when I'd go out quail hunting in Southern California, where I'd stay with an RV with mom and dad. I've done some tent camping. I've also done some other pop-up tent type stuff, pop-up camper. But it's been a long time. It's just not normally in our wheelhouse to go out and do that. We're the people who would get a cabin as opposed to a tent.
So our experience is not quite zero, but pretty close. What's your biggest fear, if any, going into this?
For me, I don't really have much of one. My big concern is just for us to both get a good night's sleep. Besides from that, this should be cake. Easy breezy. It's 2 days in spring in the Ozarks. What could go wrong?
So I guess my biggest concern is similar. I just want to be able to sleep and be comfortable. And we're not small people, so that's definitely a consideration. And we want to make sure that we have space, and really it's our first kind of taste of what it might be like to be full-time RVers. So what are you most looking forward to with this trip?
Well, this is kind of exploratory in a way. Our plan is to be RVers and travel the U.S. However, we got to make sure it really works for us. So here's our first little taste of what it's like, and I'm hoping it's going to be great, and that's what I'm looking forward to be more committed to our decision. What about you, Jennifer?
I'm looking forward to the campfire. That's one of my favorite things, and I know it's going to be a little cool tonight, so I'm really excited to just stand or sit by the fire. Okay, so first impressions.
You're first.
There's a smell, and I'm trying to figure out if it's a cooking smell or a sewer smell or just this is an older RV smell. I don't know. So it's not intolerable. Everything is a little foreign, so just trying to figure out how everything works and where everything is a little tricky.
Definitely a little bit of an adventure trying to figure out where everything is and how to turn things on. But it's something you'd become accustomed to. It wouldn't take too long to get familiar. I've heard that before from other RV owners, that all of a sudden someone else will come in the RV that's more familiar and go, hey, have you done this? And you're like, I didn't even know that was possible. So we know we have a lot to learn here. But I think my wife made a good comment when we first showed up. It's a lot quieter than expected. So we're pretty happy with that so far. What about you, Jennifer? What other thoughts you have?
No, there's quite a few people at the campground. It's Friday night. It's not full yet, but it's still kind of early. So we'll see how it changes.
Look, I'm hungry. Let's go get something to eat.
Yeah. We were driving around looking for a place to eat and got caught in a gully washer. We had been a little indecisive about where we were going to eat, and we were leaning towards a Mexican restaurant when we happened upon the Social Birdy. This is a fun location offering golf simulators, pickleball, an actual golf course, and of course, great food and drink. I had the spicy avocado chicken sandwich, and for dessert, a cinnamon delight that lived up to its name.
I had a tasty burger and was very happy with what I ordered. The weather wasn't conducive to the outdoor parts of the venue, however, on this visit, but we could see the potential for really be hopping at the height of their season in Branson.
Good morning. We had a few epic fails last night that we're going to tell you about.
Well, first off, we didn't do well on our inventory before we went shopping. The RV was short some needed items for breakfast. I mean, yeah, we got the turkey sausage. Yeah, we got the eggs. We got the onion, but there was no creamer, no salt, pepper, none of that stuff. So we should have done a better inventory off the bat. What's our next issue that we ran into?
We did not get a fire started, and we tried for quite a while, but our wood got rained on while we went to dinner, and so it was wet. And we tried to start a fire by using some paper as a fire starter, and that was very smoky, and it seemed like it was just settling in the campground, and so we gave up on that. So no fire, but we did have s'mores by the smoke pit.
That's true. That's true. And they were delicious. So otherwise, we forgot to take advantage of the streaming option here, and we're just watching local channels last night. And then as we retired to bed, which actually the bed was fairly nice, my lovely wife forgot one small element regarding the temperature.
Well, I think that the epic fail on this is that we should have spent a little bit more time getting familiar with the RV and how to operate everything, because I woke up at 3 a.m. freezing, kind of like my previous experience. And so I just had to, I did figure out how to turn 2 out of the 3 of the air conditioners off, but one was still running, and then I guess I had accidentally turned on one of the vent fans too. So it was pretty chilly this morning. What was the temperature?
I think it was below 62. I think is what it was. I think it was like 59 is what the one thermometer said here. There's a couple in the unit from the bedroom area and then the main area, main hall. So it was a little cool for the wifey, and but she did snuggle real close for a while last night, which was pretty nice.
And the next epic fail is no shower because the water smells bad. So we're not even sure what to do about that. Like, I don't think that's a normal RV thing. I'm pretty sure it's not. So we're going to let the front office staff know about that on our way out. But we are feeling good, feeling positive. We are going to go adventure and fill our bellies and then look to maybe play some pickleball and or go for a hike.
For breakfast, we decided on Bob Evans. This is another restaurant that used to be in Springfield, but closed down. So we're excited to give this venue a try.
Great food, great service, and I enjoyed the coffee with whipped cream. After breakfast, we were ready for some activity. We headed out in search of pickleball and or a hike.
We stopped by the Branson Walmart for some basic provisions in hopes of having the experience of preparing a meal in the RV. While there, I found some great deals. Hat, shirt, and pants, $3, $5, $5. We headed back to Bull Creek to freshen up and discovered something wasn't as we left it. The RV smelled a lot better, and what they had done had definitely improved our circumstances. So we were grateful.
Good morning. It's Sunday morning, and we are all packed up and ready to go. So we just wanted to share some wins that we had yesterday in day 2.
What wins, Jennifer?
Well, first of all, we had fire, thanks to you.
Yep, took a little kindling from the surrounding area and were able to get it moving last night. So that was all good. Man make fire.
Yes, and we got to sit by the fire for over an hour. So it was really nice. And remember, that's what I was looking forward to. So second win, we did kind of get the smell taken care of. We did talk with the front office, and they said, oh, it's probably because that happens when it's just sitting there. And they said, we'll just run it through for you. And they said they turned the fans on and everything. And the smell in the camper was much better when we got back. The water still has a little bit of a smell. And so I refused to take a shower again. So the water is probably not the only thing starting to smell in here.
That's true. That's true. I decided to take a shower, and regretfully, the odor is still prominent. So looking forward to getting home and taking another shower here a little bit later. However, we had some other good stuff that happened yesterday. Do you want to share?
Can you be more specific?
Well, so we had an opportunity to investigate and find a pickleball court nearby.
Yeah, with pickleball, I did get pickled the first time. Second time I got 3 points. So woo! And that was with him playing left-handed.
Yeah, but great. What was really nice about the courts out here, not only were they in good repair, there's nobody else out there that Saturday morning. So sometimes in Springfield, we struggle with that at a few of the parks because it's so popular. So we were glad to get a chance to do that a bit and take a hike around the area. So definitely check out some of the other pieces we have that show that park. It's a neat one.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful spot for a picnic. It seemed like it was underutilized, but it was a little cool yesterday morning. Oh, and the one drawback, we could not find a bathroom. They had a community center, but they locked it up. They had been having an event is what it looked like, and then they locked it all up, and we could not find a bathroom. So so that's one thing to be aware of.
Another real positive thing about Bull Creek where we're at is, for our first experience, is how quiet it was. I think Jennifer and I were both concerned, hey, how noisy is it going to be with the person next to us? And I know that could vary depending where we're at and, you know, the time of season and all those details, but we're fairly full here in spring north of Branson, and the noise was super minimal. Really, really was. In fact, The only noise that Jennifer really heard was actually outside the RV camp at a place adjacent. The overall quietude of the area was really nice.
Yeah, it's really the public access to the creek that I think is where I heard most of the noise. But yeah, definitely surprising about how quiet it was. That's from our experience with tent camping way back in the day. It's very different from that. So we appreciated that.
And we also got to go to the Butterfly Palace here near Branson, and that was super neat.
And we were like, oh, we should do some Branson touristy things, even though we live pretty close to here. So we did the Butterfly Palace in the last 45 minutes, and we thought we probably could have spent a little bit longer there. Maybe an hour and a half would be a good amount of time. We rushed through the mirror maze at the end and made it with 2 minutes to spare before they closed.
We're gonna pass the shoe.
Thanks again to him, because I would have been stuck in there forever.
Yeah, I've always heard about it, but what a really neat experience. I also want to do a call out before the Butterfly Palace. We went to a winery, Lindwedel Winery here in Branson area, and what a great view of the Branson area from their perch, their outdoor area. So recommend it, and their wine was very tasty as well. So I definitely give them 2 thumbs up.
And we also stopped by Bear Creek and watched Justin Larkin playing yesterday, and he's pretty chill music and awesome to watch. He's a one-man band, so we enjoyed him at Bear Creek. And there was it looked like a wedding that was getting ready to happen there. It's a beautiful venue, so we'll show you some of that footage. We do have some final thoughts about our experience here. For me, we have to figure out temperature in the camper because I, once again, did not sleep well. So I was very cold. And we didn't have the air on when we went to sleep. We had a fan on, and then it was still too cold for me. We didn't turn the heat on, though, until this morning. Just figuring out that balance of regulating the temperature. And now we did talk about if this was our RV, we would be more familiar and we would know how to keep it comfortable. So what about you? What are your kind of final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I'm a planner, so I should have done more research on this RV. Should have spent a little bit more time going through and getting familiar with all the different options. So at 7:30 in the morning when you're half asleep and your wife is like, hey, go turn the heat on, I just start pushing buttons and it wasn't ideal. But hey, it's a good learning process and would definitely do this again. I'd be interested in trying a different venue, but Bull Creek would be on our list to return to once we have our own, I believe.
Yeah, and Branson is a neat venue to stop on in your RV trek cross country. So we walked down at the Branson Landing too and kind of enjoyed some of that yesterday evening as well. So, what's next for us? What's the next step? We'll have to figure that out, and we're certainly open to your suggestions as we prepare for our life of full-time RVing.
And if you're interested in this, please like as well as subscribe. We definitely want to get your comments and your feedback. We know we're newbies at this, so whatever you share, your insights, it's valuable. So thank you.
We appreciate you, the community, helping us to move forward towards our goals. And thank you so much for coming along on our journey. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.